Mike? Is it on? Yes? Good morning. I want to, as we do now, a board member comes up here just before the church begins and calls your attention to some of the announcements. And that way, we know that you can read, and we'll just suggest things that you might be interested in knowing this coming week in particular. So the Death Cafe is meeting this week on the 19th at 6:30, and that's, I hope you know by now, it's a place where people can go to share their thoughts and feelings about death and dying, and that whole collection of things that you have to consider. So that's coming up. The Tamba Gallery has a wearables show, which means if you still have some Christmas presents to purchase, or whatever thing you give presents for at this time of year, there's good opportunities there. Christmas Day, several people are going to meet at the Asian Buffet. It's a perfect Christmas story Christmas. And hopefully, no tragedy will befall you so that you have to go. But if you recall that movie. So that's happening, and it will start at 1 p.m. So if you're interested, Jan Thompson has more information, and you can get in touch with her. Ari's continuing their Project Link drive, and they're trying to do things to make some money for that charity that the Ari kids have chosen. And this week's C4C, that's Change for Change, is this quarter's C is for Coats for Kids. And so those are the key announcements there. Hopefully you all know that you're here for Super Sunday, which means after this wonderful service comes to a close, come over to the Ari Great Room, and there's soup and homemade breads and some desserts and beverages, and we invite you to all come and stay for lunch, and hopefully many of you will choose to come back to this sanctuary at 11:30, sign in, so that we can do the business of this church at our annual congregational budget and business meeting. So, with that said, I believe we're going to be treated to a procession if I get out of the way. So, thank you.
I'm Charlie Scholes, your service associate. Our service leader, you've already seen, is our director of music, Catherine Massey. Our minister is Reverend Rod Thompson, and our Director of Religious Education is Kelly Ingram. Assisting us today is Elwin Nunn on camera, Mike Yazko on streaming technology and also graphics, and let's see, I think it's Danny Hankins on audio, right? There you are. Hi, Danny. The chalice table was prepared by Diane Lee and Jillian Lang, and our greeters, whom you've probably already met, are Carol Stanfill, Diane Lee, and Susan West. And hospitality, as Susan mentioned, is available after the service down the breezeway in the Religious Education Building, and we're having a super Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, if you're visiting today, we'd like to meet you. What I would like you to do is stand up and arise in body or spirit and introduce yourself, tell us your name and where you're from. So, do we have some visitors today? There's a visitor. Okay, hold on, and we'll get him. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Chet Deckert.
Okay, I don't think this is working. Are we on? Oh, okay, good. I can't hear. Yeah.
I was raised Unitarian in Oklahoma City, so I'm kind of glad to get out of there. I worked in Alabama. I'm glad to get out of there. Retired here.
Good. Well, welcome. You're with him, okay. This woman next to him identified as she's with him. So, any other visitors this morning? All righty. If you're a shy visitor and you haven't announced yourself, be sure to fill out a visitor's card so we can send you information about our other events. Unitarian Universalism has no creed or dogma. We are a covenant-based church, meaning we agree to live in relationship with each other according to the Unitarian Universalist principles and our congregation's covenant of right relations. We embrace diversity in all its forms, and everyone is welcome here. You can learn more about us by going to our website. It's uuchurchlc.com. Okay. I'm sorry, .org, that's right. Even though we don't have an org here, it is .org. Thank you. Our opening words this morning are from Psalm 98, verses 4 through 8. This is the King James Version, my favorite version. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with the harp and the voice of a psalm, with trumpets and sound of cornet. Make a joyful noise before the Lord. Let the sea roar and the fullness within. The world and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together before the Lord.
Our chalice lighting, which I'm reading from my phone, which is in worship mode, is written for Music Sunday by Marnie Singer. The chalice is the container, the space where the musicians and the listeners gather. The oil is the fuel, the hours of practice and the life experiences of everyone in the room. The wick is the instruments and vocal cords through which the music will flow. And the flame is the music which is created as if by magic. When the instruments are lifted, the breath is inhaled and the downbeat is nodded. May this flame ignite the music within us all.
This is the third Sunday of Advent. May the third candle of Advent be the candle of love. Let it stand for all the tenderness kindness, affection, forgiveness, and glory that we have ever known and still have hope of knowing.
Will you please rise in body and spirit and join me in saying our church's covenant? The words are on the screen. And then we're going to sing the doxology in English and Spanish. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. From all that well below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peaceful will on earth be sung. If the microphone is, oh, now the microphone's working. Son of a gun. The old Welsh hymn, and the words will be on the screen for you. Okay?
I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Yes, you can rise in body or spirit. Thank you. One of the ways we celebrate being together is by sharing our joys. So, since we're celebrating singing this Sunday, we decided to ask members of the choir to tell us in a sentence or two why they sing. I'll kick it off. Singing for me, especially in a choir, is a spiritual experience.
Singing for me is a community coming together in joy.
Singing for me is an offering of the Spirit.
Singing for me is life affirming.
No matter what kind of a day I've had, when I finish singing, I feel lighter and ever so much better.
Singing and music in general just makes me feel much better.
Singing is raising our voices in community.
I couldn't imagine sitting out there where you are, have to sing with a choir.
Singing, there are these magic moments when we just come together, and sometimes we bring you all along with us.
I got it, thank you. I came to this church because of my mother and Elwood. I have stayed because of the choir.
Singing for me is special. As a person with a speech impediment, it's the only time that I'm fluent.
I don't really sing much alone. I sing with other people for the sharing. I think I sing like maybe a lot of people dance.
Singing is my energy straight from my soul to yours.
Ed Long has a sign that shows up on Zoom that says, "Music is what feelings sound like." And I feel the music, especially when I am singing.
I'm new to the choir, and I'm so glad they let me come. And I think everybody has kind of covered everything here.
Thank you.
Good morning. I love how music bypasses, in some ways, bypasses the brain with the message and just sends the message straight to the heart without interference. And that's why I do this. Before we sing a bunch of songs for you, I'll tell you a little bit about this choir. And I surmise that this is my last speaking part with you. So I'll tell you a few little stories. We began this congregation, one of our founding members was Oscar Butler, who is a brilliant musician who helped start the symphony and the choruses at the university. He had seasonal choirs. He would hand pick singers, and some of you are here as those singers, to sing for Christmas, say, or maybe for Easter. And they were occasional and they were seasonal, and it was an honor to be chosen. I got to sing with him a few times. In the year 2000, after I had been here a couple of years, there was a desire to have a regular choir. And the people wanted to sing in it, people wanted to hear it. As a trained pianist and a singer in choirs, I had not been a choir conductor, so I was able to go to my first Association for UU Music Ministries conference, and I came back with one anthem, which was Joyce Poley's One More Step. And from that, we have built a library. I stopped counting about a month ago. We have about 260 anthems on file in there. We've had so many beloved members, and I have to say, I mean, I love all of you, and I love every single member of this choir, and I want you to know that. But the choir, we form long-term and very special relationships with each other because of, you know, practicing so much and all of the time that we spend together. I'll just point out a couple of people. Jan Thompson's spouse, Cindy Hill, excuse me, I knew that. She used to keep us on the straight and narrow. She'd say, "It's deck the hall, people, not halls." And she would point out if we were mispronouncing the Latin. Were we singing church Latin, classical Latin? And she also warned me, don't modulate and do key changes in hymns. That's the reason why Jan quit the last choir we were in. Jerry Pendleton, who used to wear a red beret over his white hair. He was a brilliant tenor and could sing anything. Sometimes we were a little sparse when the choir would show up, and I remember specifically one Sunday there were 5 people. And I said, "Jerry, I need you to sing soprano." And he said, "I'm on it." And he did. The first time I was in Boston, I was walking down the street and I heard this tremendous sound, and I was drawn to it. I was walking that way anyway. When I got to where the origin of the sound was, I realized it was a gospel choir that was standing out on the sidewalk outside this Baptist church. And it was a wonderful choir. It was every possible age and a diversity of people. And they were singing their hearts out, and people were stopping blocks away because they could hear the passion there. And I stood and listened to them for a long time and counted 13 people. And I came back to our, at that point, 12-person choir and said, we can sound a lot bigger than we are. And in fact, we have done more than we should have been able to do. We've had people who, a range of skills, from proficient musicians to people who do not read music and learn by rote. And from that experience, we've found a way to blend our voices together. And it's availed us the opportunity to see people like our beloved Clayton Flowers, who is not in this room but is probably online. We got to go sing for him just a couple of weeks ago, sing him an advance happy birthday for number 109. And many of us were able to be with our dear Irene in her last hours and sang for her as well. So with my impending retirement, the choir said, we gotta sing some of these things one more time. And so we chose our greatest hits, the top songs that we wanted to sing again. And we hope you enjoy them. You have in the past, we've sung them lots of times. For Martin Luther King Day, most of these we have sung at Bethel Second Baptist Church's formerly annual spirituals concert, to great acclaim, I have to say. It was always so wonderful to be accepted there. And I think it's not a mistake that these particular songs are, especially at this time that we're in, are all songs of social justice and all come from a tradition of strength and power in the African American community from which all of us can learn and respect. And so with that in mind, we would like to share with you these songs, and we hope you enjoy them, and I hope that they give you strength and power as well.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, won't you come on down? Oh, sisters, let's go down to the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that
I love singing with the choir. It's such a blast. The operation and outreach of our church needs your input and your contributions. This is a perfect time to think about what you can give back. And in a moment, the greeters will pass among you with the offering baskets. But before they do that, I should remind you that we support organizations identified by our Social Justice Committee with what we call our Change for Change program. You can give to this recipient by putting your change in the basket or by writing Change for Change on the note line of your check. And as Susan mentioned at the beginning of the hour, this quarter's recipient for our Change for Change donations is Coats for Kids. Please give generously. Well, since you're warmed up for that, let's rise as you are bodily able, and let us sing that song. It's numbers 368 in the gray hymnal, and the words will be on the screen. Shall we?
Did you have closing words? Did you have closing closing words?
I have closing words. Oh, Our closing words today are from Isaiah chapter 55, verse 12. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Oh, yeah. Will you join me in saying the words to extinguish the flame?
We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Yes, we did.